What's going on, man? XO Tiffany was up in the house. All right, man. Good evening. Good evening. We are just gonna give what's this is? What we on? We're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Bringing a show back that I haven't done in a while, which is uh, uh, the He Say She Say show. Tonight we're gonna be talking about our topic of the night is gonna be: do men want women who think like men? And we're gonna do the reverse of that as well. So we give you time to hit that like button, that share button, all that good stuff, man. It's love and relationships. I've been looking for a place to do this for quite some time. So I want to say thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We're on a new space. So what's going on, Jennifer? Thanks so much for joining. How are you? We're gonna have a wonderful conversation here tonight. Get you guys' thoughts and opinions on things that are going on in our space. And so this is the He Say She Say show. So I will start with saying this. Number one, I've got a new space that I'll be doing a lot of my broadcasts. So if you want to follow what we're doing, the ERGJ Productions, make sure you go to Facebook, and it's a page called ERGJ TV. So all of my broadcasts, from the He Say She Say show to Black Author Speaker Forum, everything that I do video wise will be there, so you can catch up on all that we do. So please like that page so we can build that up, and then we can begin to expose and bring exposure and marketing to our people. But tonight is a very special broadcast because this is something that's near and dear to all of our hearts. We love to have these conversations. The He Say She Say show. So I got a guest with us here tonight because, of course, it can't just be me talking. We got a she that's going to be talking as well, and we definitely want to get. I know where my glasses. I've got some new glasses coming in, so I'm gonna be struggling tonight, but we're gonna make it happen. Nonetheless, man. Hey, y'all know it's time to get on with the show, man. I want to go ahead and get my DJ going so we can get this thing going with the He Say She Say show. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
All I'm saying is no. No, for us black men dating black women in America, it's a challenge for us.
It's not a challenge. You just picking the wrong women. You know what? You just don't understand.
Well, help me understand. Explain it in a way that is appealing to a man, cause I know frustration comes and you throw up your hands. Let's debate upon the topic. I will listen to your stance. I'll object it if I can. Interrupt her game. She's passionate about it when she speaks, it lets you know. He say, she say, intro song. I hope you enjoy the show. Evan Jefferson is on. Let me introduce the host.
All right, my beautiful people, man. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight on the He Say She Say show, where everybody has a voice. So why not let your voice be heard? I will say, I starting this is an adult conversation. So if you can't stand the heat, get your ass out the kitchen. So this might not be the show for you if you are looking for something that's going to be very gentle. This is going to be rough and raw. We're just going to say it how we say it. So again, everybody has a voice. Why not let your voice be heard? If you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. So I'm just letting you know in advance, in case you got a problem with some of the stuff that might be saying, oh, y'all somebody talking like that. No, you shouldn't be listening, because this not the show for you. I will say we got some premise on how we actually do this show. The He Say She Say show is kind of set up like this. If you are a lady that's representing here tonight, and you're going to have some idea, some conversation, some thoughts, some opinion on what we're going to be talking about here tonight, well, in order for your comments to be noticed, you have to put she say before that comment. So it'd be like, she say such and such, such and such, such and such. So if you're a she say and you are joining us here tonight, go ahead and put in the comments on she say. I want to give you guys some practice on that. She say, if you're here with us here tonight. For all the brothers that might be here, that might be joining us again, if you have a comment that you add an opinion to our topic here tonight, well, you're going to preface your comments with he say. That way we can take the onus off of you and put it into this ethereal third person, and we're going to be he say. So if you're a brother that's joining us here tonight on the He Say She Say show, I want to see who representing, because I know the ladies always show up. All the she says be up in here. But if you're a he say, man, go ahead and let us know that you're here. Put in console he say. Thanks so much for being us here tonight. So again, our topic here tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about primarily is going to be, do men want women who think like men? Now, we've already had a little poll going on with this on Facebook, and we're going to share some of those comments as well. But we definitely want to get your opinion on this topic because, of course, there was a movie about it, and there was a book about it, Steve Harvey. But then there's also a flip side of that we'll be talking about here tonight as well on the He Say She Say show. Hey, before I invite my guests, I want you to go ahead and hit that like button, that share button if you care, like button, share button if you care. This is a topic that many people may want to talk about. We're going to have the topics here to be able to share. If you're a person you're saying, hey, you want to be on the next episode, make sure that you inbox us and let us know that you request you'd like to be on live with us. Because we want to give everybody kind of a space to be able to voice and vent and all that stuff as well. If you have some ideas for topics in the future, let us know that as well. And make sure you inbox us on either Facebook or Instagram. We can do that as well. Our sponsor here tonight is ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, specializing in Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, and also Black art-inspired gifts. Make sure you check us out at ergjblackbazaar.com. That's right, ergjblackbazaar.com. As soon as I can pull it up, I will pull it up for you guys as well, man. ergjblackbazaar.com. Check us out there. And while you're there, guys, you'll be able to see, you just scroll down, you'll be able to see some of the cool stuff. Got Black History activity books, which is on sale right now. It's Black History Month. You get you some activity books for the kids, filled with all historical Black folk that represent our community. Let me see what you guys saying. Okay, She Say is in the house. We got a She Say over here, Instagram. Who else we got here, man? Miss Monica's in the house. She Say, hope, faith, and love. I love that line. That line in the back is dope, ain't it? Thanks so much, man. Again, all the he says that. Jerry Tatum's in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining up in with us tonight. Hope, faith, love is here. She Say, Monica's here. Again, our topic here tonight that we'll be talking about is, do men want women who think like men? But hey, we can't start the He Say, She Say show without having a She Say to combat the He Say. So let me introduce one of our guests, our She Say here tonight. Miss Sincere is up in the house, man. What's going? Oh, you all off camera and stuff. What's going on with you? How you doing, Queen?
Great day. How are you? Awesomely powerful. Thank you.
Awesomely powerful, huh? Okay. Thanks so much for being here. What's going on with you tonight?
I'm just loving to be here. I appreciate you calling me in because I always have a lot to say.
Oh, you do? We got a little delay, man. You got a couple things on. You got more than one device going on?
Nope.
Okay, I can hear a little break. We're gonna deal with this delay tonight. So we're gonna be talking about, man, again, do men want women who think like men? But before we do that, guys, I do have a feature. I'm sorry. If you could introduce yourself, Sincere, maybe tell people a little bit about who you are, your status, or something like that. I don't know, whichever you want to let people know about.
I am an entrepreneur. I have a shelter. I feed the hungry. Full-time grandparent. Master of a lot of trades.
Master of a lot of trades. Fantastic. What's going on? Straight out Shot Rackets in the house, man. Thanks so much for being with us. Again, we want to make sure we preface the show by saying, guys, if you want to add to the conversation here tonight, if you're a sister, you'll start your comments with She Say, and then whatever it is that you want to say about that. Brothers, you will start with He Say, and then whatever it is you say about, I will recognize your comments in the stream that we have here tonight. Hit the like button and share button if you care. Like button, share button if you care. And again, we'll be broadcasting all of our broadcasts on Facebook page, ERGJ TV. That's right, brand new, ERGJ TV. So if you want to get all of the stuff that I do, plus more, because we want to feature some of your stuff as well, make sure that you go ahead and follow that page on Facebook. Hey, we're going to start this conversation, guys, with what we found in the comments already, because we have some brothers and sisters that shared some stuff on this topic as we're talking about, do men want a woman who thinks like a man? And then the offset to this is, do women want a man who's emotional like a woman? Now, I believe that most of us have this idea that, generally speaking, let's make sure that we understand this as well. We're talking in generalities. We understand that everyone is individual and might have something different to say, but generally speaking is what we're going to talk about tonight. Well, we got another guest. Oh, let me bring him in. He is here up in the house, man. We got a brother, so now I can facilitate. Again, you guys might be missing this if you're not on Facebook or YouTube, but let me see if we can bring him in. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Straight out of Chirac. Can we hear you? Can I hear you?
I'm here.
Okay. I make sure we heard you all dark. He's all deep off in the cut, man. He want to make sure he stay. What is it? Incognito up in here, huh?
I'm here. Yeah.
Man, fantastic, man. Thanks so much for joining. Hey, so we had some comments. I want to read these comments to you guys because we had some people say, we had a She Say who responded in this way to this question. As a woman, or She Say, as a woman, I am not sure if I want my man to be as emotional as me. I'm a care bear in nature, and as natural. I do want him to understand and allow me to be emotional. I feel that a man should be aware of his emotions and not afraid to express them. I think there is a needed balance between us two. Most of the time, he may be logical, one, in our relationship, and I'm emotionally filled one, as long as we can accept that we both have feelings and the vary. And there was a response to this who said, as a she say, who responds to this was typical female answer. I want him to be emotional, but only when I say it's okay to be emotional. I'm gonna come to the she say, Miss Sincere up in the house. And this was a response to does a woman want a man who is emotional like a woman? What did she say?
She says that you have to have a perfect balance, masculine and feminine energy. We carry both of them, so we supposed to balance them in each other and before each other with ourselves. So with that being said, I don't really like a male being so emotional. Now, do I, agree with him letting crying out and hugging and touchy-feely? That's a part of the program. Yeah, but like when you're the hormones of a female, no, I need him to still be strong, but in tune with his feminine side or his, feminine energy.
With his feminine energy?
Yes.
Some people want to know what
to allow himself to cry, hug, want to cuddle. Yes, it's a balance.
There's a balance. Okay, fantastic. Where are you located? Where are you out of, Miss Sincere?
I am in Mableton, Georgia.
Mableton, Georgia. Fantastic. Again, guys, if anybody want to add any comments in the, for our viewers, you will put he say, she say, or he say, depending on he say or she say, depending on who you are. And then we can recognize your comments in the script below. So straight out of Chirac, man, we're talking about this topic. Do men want a woman who thinks like a man? What does he say?
Oh wow. He says no, a man does not want a woman that thinks like a man. Not at all. No.
Why is that, brother? Because there was a book, there was a movie, all this stuff, man. So why no? What's the problem? What's the issue here with women thinking they should be thinking like men?
It disturbs the order. It disturbs the order when a woman thinks like a man. We as men, we depend on the emotions of the woman. We actually we act like they're working against us, but we actually we depend on those emotions. Because we get tired of being strong all the time. So the emotions that the woman shares with us and displays to us, they remind us that we can let our guards down a little bit. So if the woman is always hard, we deal with that every day with other men. So if the woman is always hard, we don't know when to come off of our high after coming home from work or dealing with the world. So we need those emotions to keep us centered. If they're always hard, then we become even more aggressive. But a lot of women think the tougher that they are, or more masculine they are with us, they think that we respect them more, but actually we lose respect for them because we're fighting now. We're battling them.
So is there a sense of balance? So is this a mental battle? That's what we're saying.
It's spiritual. Actually, it's spiritual. It'll always be there. It's two people trying to be, especially in a marriage, it's two people trying to become one. So it's a spiritual battle always. We think it's mental because we start to play the mind games, to try to counter one another. But it's spiritual. It's two people learning to submit to submit to one another, so they can work together. have one mindset. So when you say the man's thinking, the woman's thinking, or the act like a woman, think like a man, it's actually it's the battle in trying to think like one another. That's the real battle.
Wow.
It's not really about the gender as much as we think it is, because we can never be you're not designed to operate like a woman, like she said, with the crying and the emotions and the going off the deep end and not being rational. You know, a lot of times when you're in battle with the woman, the man tries to solve things rationally, and you will find that some of the better women, they're not driven by their emotions, but those are women that are hard to find, and those women have been raised generally by men. Most of those women that I encounter who are like that, they've been raised by men. And so, but those are the ones who are better. I'm gonna be honest with you, they are better for as partners. But if you are a woman who's always crying, always emotional, always want your man to identify with your feelings, it's hard to deal with.
Whoa, boy, it's getting deep up here. Let me catch up on some of these comments, man. Again, the He Say, She Say show is back, guys. Again, definitely want you to make sure you check out the page, ERGJ TV, where we'll be broadcasting tonight. We're talking about, do men want women who think like men, and also do women want a man who's emotional like a woman? There seems to be this women are from Venus, men are from Mars type of dichotomy that we're kind of discussing tonight. Here on Instagram, we got a She Say said that men are held to such a high standard, they are forced to be emotionally strong. They're forced to be emotionally strong. We have a She Say here. Miss Monica said this. What do you consider thinking like a man? Women can be strategic and strong as well as emotional. That is a great question. What do you consider thinking like a man? So, now, wait a second. Why you bobbing your head? She Say sincere up there, like you trying to say, well, yeah, we need to define what that is, huh?
Yes, because I deal with that a lot. Due to me being a single parent, I utilize a lot of masculine energy. So I'm told all the time that I think like a man, but I am all woman. But strategizing, emotional, I can handle it. I don't necessarily say that is a men quality or a man quality. I just believe that stepping up to the plate, handling my business, forced me to be a little bit more aggressive and have precision and more thought in the planning, and putting my emotions aside and just dealing the facts doesn't make me think like a man. It makes me handle my business. But I do comprehend, because I had to play both roles, that sometimes that gets misconstrued.
Man, so let me add this in. He say that I think part of this think like a man turns into thinking for a man. I think there's a difference there. It's one thing to have a thought like, okay, this might be in consideration of someone else or whatever the case may be. But I think it goes from thinking like someone may think to actually thinking for them, almost as if you're talking for them. They're not given space to be able to fully express themselves because the thought is already complete by the woman before the man completes the actual thought himself. So I would add that, especially because this is a dominant trait for a lot of women, that once they have a completed thought, it don't matter what the man say anyway. So I think the thinking like a man turns into thinking for a man. I think that might be a part of the conversation as well. We got a He Say here, man. He say that the book, Xander, that's you over there. Let me mute you out because we got some feedback. He said the book was made to pander to women and make money. The movie was made to entertainment and to promote the book. But in reality, we are made differently to balance each other out. Yeah, great point there, Mr. Derrick Taylor. She say here, what's the definition of thinking like a man? Honestly, don't know. Didn't see the movie. You say men can be emotional. They endure life as much as we do. They lose children just like we do. Why can't men be emotional as well? Then when they go off and develop mental health issues because they hold on too much. Well, that's kind of the conversation as well, right? So if we say, hey, do women want a man who's as emotional as women? You know, I think that think feel thing is really not kind of the conversation that we're having here tonight. So let me come back to you, man, straight out of Chirac, man. We got some different developments coming on with this conversation, man. Thinking like a man and feeling like a woman between the two. Man, you got anything to add to what we're talking about here tonight?
He says that I believe the woman only wants those emotions from the man when she doesn't want him to be dominant. And she resents those emotions when she needs him to what they say, man up. So I believe I've seen it in many occasions when you are hurting, when you're weak. It's okay to have a toothache. It's okay to have a headache. But when you no longer can serve your purpose to her as a man, she doesn't want those emotions.
Man. What did she say? She say sincere, man. What is your comeback to that?
She says, I second that because yes, he can be emotional and show his emotions with the toothache and, you know, death and a bad day. But when he's no longer useful, like manly or not doing that man thing, then if that woman is strong or dominant, then it becomes an area where he starts feeling emasculated. So I do agree with that.
He says,
then he's
I have another statement.
Say it again.
Here's another statement. Have you ever noticed when a woman is raising children on her own, like you just said, you're playing the role of the man and the woman. Have you ever noticed if a single man was raising his children, he never would say he had to become the mother as well? So this is a misconception in the ability. The woman is actually believing, she's self-deceived and actually believing because she can demonstrate some of these traits of leadership. She is deceived into actually believing she's becoming a man, that she's really fulfilling the role of where that man is not there. And that's where a lot of women, not just in single parenthood, but in many areas, when they begin to take the garbage out and shovel the snow and rake the leaves and do their oil changes, they do it willingly, but there's still a resentment in that. So it's kind of hypocritical to eventually have the ability to do all these things, and then when a man comes in your life, you won't know how to step aside and say, "Here, honey, you do it." But then you'll also say, "You're supposed to be doing it," but you've got the ability now to do what many women have never stepped up to the plate to do. So it's a bunch of hypocrisy. What? So now the man is trapped in between. What do you want me to be?
Right. I told y'all if you can't.
And now we say, why are our women, our black women, why are they so mixed up? What is their expectation of masculinity and leadership and being a husband? It's mixed up. So men get tired of you try to exalt yourself in your masculinity. You exalt it in how you provide for your woman. You exalt it in sex. They want you to be disciplinarians to their boys, soft to the girls. Don't whip the son. It's a lot of confusion going because you've raised the son on your own. You don't want him to be physically disciplined. You don't want him to be yelled at. So do you see the dilemma?
Yeah.
This is you just brought in a excellent point, brother, man. We got a he say to say, man, true. Every year we see that women want to wish you a happy Father's Day, but we don't see men don't want that crap on Mother's Day. Hey man, say we want women. I think brother said we don't. I think you're saying we don't want women to. We want women to think like women. There can only be one king. That's what another brother said here in the comments, man. Again, if you're a brother that's joining us here tonight and he say, she say, show with every comment that you make, go ahead and put in the comments before that he say. If you're a sister, make sure you put she say so we can make sure we separate these comments that's coming down the pipe. Man, you made some excellent points there. We had a she say said, man, I agree with the he say. We do have a problem when we have been single and have had to do things on our own. It's hard to give up that independence, and we do something sometimes make men feel we don't need them. There's a lot of confusion with these roles. What do you want to add to this? As he brought up this confusion with the roles. Now you said you've been a single mother for quite a while as well. What are your thoughts on what he said had to say?
Well, she says there is the role thing. So I don't necessarily like the man and the female aspect. It's stepping up to the plate and handle what's needed to be handled. And yes, in my situation, the independence of not having the masculine energy around so much was needed. So therefore, with my son, it was a little bit more aggressive. So he just heard me differently. And being that I was a female, stuff came out a little bit more aggressive for me handling business. So I get that. But the roles, it is an imbalance in the roles when another guy comes in with the yelling and because I was like that in the beginning. Who you talking to? Who you yelling at? My kids? Yeah, I got that. Yes, because I was always the one that was the aggressive. So another a man coming in the house using that aggressive tone made me step up, and then I had to realize, well, hold up. I've done it for so long. I do desire that. So I had to look at myself and say, hey, pull back, let him lead that with his energy and not so much of my energy. But I just feel like it's not really a man and male. It's stepping up to the role where it's needed and taking authority in certain areas.
Now we had another comment. This was twice this comment was made from the post that we made. Again, we're talking about do men want women who think like men, and do women want men who are emotional like women? And there was a comment from two she says, one from Instagram and one from Facebook, said there that we want there should be a perfect balance. Now, and I think I heard she say number 3 say that same thing, and I think that, and he say that's bullshit. Like there's no such, if you're waiting on perfect balance, you're gonna be dead. Like, where's a perfect balance? Really, where does that come from? I mean, I don't see that to be. I don't see that to be real. I think that's ideal. I think that's utopia. I don't think that's realistic. As we talk about perfect balance, I guess you talk about within yourself, but a perfect balance between two
within yourself
become one. That doesn't.
No, with yourself.
Huh?
With yourself, you have to balance your masculine and feminine energy within self. So when your partner comes to you and he has an emotional day, then you don't have to look at him like he's being too feminine, because this is not always, he's not this emotional. And with your a little bit more energy, you can come to him and say, hey, it's all right. You could talk him through it. And that's a little bit more masculine and allow him to be a little bit more emotional. I don't want to keep saying female and male. It's just a balance to know your partner. If he's down in the dumps or feeling depressed this week, you as the other partner, as a female, let me help him through it. Let me, give him a little push, a little tough love, I wouldn't say that's masculine. That's just balancing out where we are. He's down right now, and I'm a little bit stronger. So it's just a balance to me. Feel your partner.
What is
He
his
says
thoughts on perfect balance, man? I guess this yin and this yang, that people are trying to put out there. Like I'm gonna talk about this in just a second. Well, go ahead, brother.
he says he says a woman will this is an issue we have with our women of our same skin tone. Our women say we'll help. Well, it used to be, we'll help you get to the next level, and we're your helpmate, and we'll breathe life into you, and where you're weak, we'll make you strong. But now we're in a generation now where women they resent helping you become a man. They really, if you don't come correct, as they say, if you don't come correct, and they have to teach you how to tie your bow tie and what's sophisticated what's the word I'm looking for, give you culture and refine you. It's kind of like if you were saying a person doesn't know how to kiss and you had to teach them how to kiss. You know what I'm saying? You would kind of resent that they didn't come with those romantic elements. So women especially the women of today, are saying, I don't want to help you get a car just so you can, the whole give you my keys and you can ride around, or I'll slide the credit card under the table so you can feel like a man. Those days and those type of women, black women especially, they're kind of hard to find now, because it's not as if women have not been doing these things on their own. So they're basically waiting. That's why you have so many women who are waiting to exhale, and they're going to keep holding their breath because he's not coming. He is not coming.
Oh my goodness. Let me, we got a he said, man, just said, man, hey, she will call you a Build-A-Bear.
There you go.
Ain't got no time
there you go. Build a man. There you go. There you go.
Hey, we got, she said this, man. Oh, they're too big. Put on the screen. Let me see if I can read it, though. She said, we can't have anything perfect because we aren't perfect. I agree. But one of the issues, especially with single parents who now have a significant other, that person can always leave, but as the parent, you must remain. So do I want them to partially raise my kids or have me used to something that isn't going to last? The resentment comes from helping men who get to a certain place in life and then they leave. Woo. Okay.
He says those men are being run away.
Oh,
those men are being run away.
So
a man will not readily tear down a home that he is invested in, especially in that woman. Even those are not his children. No man of any race will just willingly tear down his home. Many men are quiet as kept. They're being forced out of their homes in many ways. And I would say, for one, fighting over roles that can be, usually that'll be financial. There's also because there's such a disparity now in black men who are so quote unquote educated compared to educated based, meaning did he go to college? So basically a black man with a degree sometimes is given a he's visibly seen different as compared to a guy who just has a trade. So they'll talk to you a little bit different, because maybe the woman respects you more because you've gone through the same things she did to get where she is, because she has an education and you have an education. So there's a lot of dynamics that are now in the home that are forcing these men to take their resources and to go where they feel appreciated.
Well, so let me bring this back just a little bit, man. I like that word you said, appreciate. So, let me come to she say. If because now we get to a space of pushing someone away, running them off, whatever the case may be. Is a man who is overly emotional, would that run you away? He says, will a man who's overly emotional run you away as a she say? You sincere?
Oh, am I? Yes, she says. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, I was just muted. She says, if he's overly emotional, and I'm only speaking from my experience, if he is overly emotional, my temperament will push him away. Because, like I said, he will feel emasculated because my temperament would change. He's too emotional, and my patient level is, why are you crying? Why you not getting up? Let's do the facts about it. What is making you? And so, if you're not paying the bills and you're emotional, and I got to slip you the credit card under the table, and I got to keep motivating you to get up and go out. At first, I'm supporting. I'm loving you. I'm with you. I love you. And you having a bad year or a bad 2 years, I will support you. You want to go to school, I'll pay the bills. I'll support you. I'll slip you the credit card so you can pay for the dinner, so you don't feel less than. But as time goes on and I'm not seeing you apply or growing, then my patient level changes. And when my patient level changes, my energy and my emotions will change. There, you might start feeling emasculated because you're not, in my eyes, stepping up to the plate in areas that is more needed with that masculine energy. So you would remove yourself due to my energy making you feel uncomfortable.
Wait a second. He say, well, he said, hold up. So the question that was asked gets answered with how you going to make someone else feel, but no energy into how it will make you feel. That's interesting. That's how it make you feel, and you said, "Oh, it will make you feel a certain way." He say, brother Chirac, man, respond to this, because that's some bullshit I just heard.
He says,
you have to leave. I'm not going to tell you gotta go.
No, y'all think you even heard, man. I'm glad we got this on record, because you're going to have to listen to that again. What? Go ahead, brother.
He says, as you see, winning is being a winner, or winning, as they say, is a term that women now associated with masculinity. So when a man is not working, when a man is weak, when a man is fearful of his future, he does not appear to be winning. So, but it is funny that a woman can be losing. A woman can be going through attack and affliction on her job or in her emotions, and we are supposed to strengthen them and support them. But when we show those same needs or those same qualities, we are not considered to be masculine. And when they're raising boys on their own, when they're taking the boys to the barber shop and doing all these things, they, in their minds, since they're doing the thing that they think a man should be doing, they are now winning. And so now the problem is the mind is changed. The mind is brainwashed into believing, well, what do I need a man for? So we're now diminished into providers and companionship. What I would say basically is just sex and money. Ultimately, those are the things to me that determine, as we know, romance and finance. Those are things that that disappear and dissipate as masculinity and money dissipates. Less money, less sex, less respect. Those are things. Less finances, no sex. Those are things that are very connected.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So he said, I'm trying to figure out how we went from an overly emotional man
Oh man,
to a women want an
got
overly
disconnected.
emotional man to, he down and out and he not doing his part or all this stuff. He could be going to work every day and just come home and just be overly emotional. He could be unstable in his emotions. I'm lost as to how we connecting overly emotional to not doing something in the relationship. I don't see how that's necessary. That's got to be a connection. Yeah, I'm lost how we go from would a man who's overly emotional run you off as a woman? And here's the thing. Here's what I find. He said that it seems to be very difficult for women to just answer a question. I done got all off into some place, and I'm like, there was a question even answered. But let me get to these comments here. Let's see what the people saying in the comments here. He said, ain't no woman trying to be around a crying ass man all the time. Brother Jerry said, man, Monica said, man, she said we need to be able to put ourselves, both male and female, in each other's shoes and be able to respond that way. She said, I don't want to know why, then decide from there. He might need to work on himself before getting into a relationship. That definitely could be the case for all of us. He say, Bet, quick to tell you to be a man, but manhood is subjective. The meaning also differs from one woman to the next. Okay, so you got to. She sincerely agrees with you, sincere. So my question is this, Sister Sincere. How did you go into, here's how I'm going to make this man feel this way? But how about, how would you feel?
How would I make this man feel this way is the question?
Well, I asked you, the question would an overly emotional man drive you away? And I think that you're answering the question saying, no, it wouldn't drive me away, but I drive him away. As if maybe y'all are driving each other away. But it wouldn't say, well, I will make him feel emasculated with my personality.
Well, my intent is not to drive him away. It's not my intent. Like I just said, 2 years at the patient level, right?
Patient level for what?
So
his emotional state?
If he's overly emotional for, a few years, consistently for a few years, and I'm supporting him for a few years, and I'm loving him through as we're supposed to grow together. That's what we need a partner. We're not designed to be by ourselves. Have to have a partner. But the communication, the bond, the working together, the foundation, making the plan has to be together from the beginning. Now, each person is going to fall off because we are individuals, and we evolve individually. So then you have to take time to evolve together. But if you're evolving after years, and I'm patient with you and helping you grow, helping pay for your school, helping you pay for the meals, it's not about financial, because I was in a marriage where our roles was reversed. I was the breadwinner and he stayed at home. Preferred that because my job was overnight. So I felt more secure and safe with my children at home, and he was home in the evenings. So I don't look at the financial aspect of it, because if his finances wasn't there, I don't need him anymore, because the finances was there because I was making it. I needed him to be hands-on more in the home, not financially. So it's not about the finances, and finances and sex for me is not the same thing. It has nothing to do with one. You don't have to bring the finances. I could be upset with you, but our intimacy keeps us connected. So that doesn't stop. That's an energy in that. It's a spirit in that. If I'm upset with you, I'm not going to hold back sex. That just don't go.
Man, he said we got a comment. He said, so my take on Sincere's comments is that if he's overly emotional, he's out of balance, and if he's out, then they are out. Do you agree with that comment?
Yes. Yes, that's why I said eventually he will remove himself.
So he will remove himself. So you're strong enough to stay in it, and he'll just end up removing himself, but you won't remove yourself. Okay. All right. I'm coming back. Yeah. So here's my question, man, to our audience, because this brings about a great question. To our she says, my question to you is how many she says do we have with us who are joining us here tonight who tend to feel like they think like a man? And brothers, maybe we can be real. Is there any brothers out there who tend to feel like they got some emotional state of a woman? I think it's good to kind of find out who we got in the audience with us here tonight. Brother Sharak, you're back, man. Yeah. So let me ask you this. Let me come back to you, Sincere. So with your thought process, is that more of a masculine thought or a feminine thought?
I believe it's just a thought due to the circumstances. It's not because I am a female. I'm all woman. But my mindset sticks more to facts, how we can solve this problem, how we can make a change, what's the plan, and execute the plan. A lot of emotion doesn't have to go into that. It's do or die. My emotion don't have to be on that. Now, do I feel like doing it? My emotion of do I feel like doing it? Do I like doing it? I'll deal with that emotion, but to execute the plan, let's just do that and not be so emotional about that. I don't think that's a man or a female thing. Let's get it done.
Okay. All right. Brother Sharak, man, come on back with us, man. He says, well, oh, this is good stuff, man. What's going on, brother? You back?
I'm back. I'm listening.
Okay. Whew. All right. So now, oh Lord. So now our thoughts are just thoughts. All right. Brother said, man, my take on Sincere's comments that I already read that. She say, I believe, especially for women, we have to have a mindset shift if the relationship is going to last. Now, he say, what do you mean by that? A mindset shift? What kind of mindset shift are we talking about for a relationship to last? So where's the problem that we got there? He say, man, but Sincere, do you not find that your respect level is for a man that makes less than you is less? Do you have a little more mouth when you were the breadwinner?
In the beginning, yes, there's total respect. Well, there's always respect. But like I said, the dollar amount is not the issue. Issue for me, she says, the issue for me is your drive and your motivation and your if you can't bring finances to the table to pay the bills, then what other area are you making up in? And then if you're not making up any other areas to help the family grow and succeed, then yes, the attitude will change. The respect level will change.
Let me come to this
comment. The dollar amount is not.
Let me come to this comment from Instagram. A wonderful comment here. She said, hey, why is there a time limit on supporting an emotional needs? You're willing to help him grow, but not help his emotional well-being. That's kind of messed up. That's from a she say, by the way. Why is there a time limit on supporting his emotional needs?
Why is there a time limit on supporting emotional needs?
Yeah, you mentioned
because at a certain point in time, it might become toxic for yourself. So you know when you're supposed to remove before that starts taking over and spilling into your life, and you know you don't want that. If you are mentally stable and you try to help him through it, but he needs more, maybe more professional help, and you supported him through the professional help and it's still not working, but now you see it spilling, his cup is spilling over into your cup or children's cup, then you have to evaluate the situation.
Woo! Boy, that sound, he say that sound cutthroat like a motherfucker, boy. God. Oh, boy, I can't go through nothing up in this piece, man. Oh, Lord. It ain't for better or for worse. It's for a time such as this. Brother Chirac, man, what you got to add to this, man? He says, this is interesting.
I mean, he say, "Hey, I'm hearing it just like you. I'm just wow. I really don't. I don't know. I don't have anything to say. I mean, I'm hearing it like you. She's making. I know every woman doesn't feel like that, but one thing, Sincere is saying she's talking about a season, of hardship or brokenness in the man, and she's saying how how long she can endure, and but once again, in a normal relationship, whoever is down, what we haven't established still is we're talking about emotions and we're talking about masculinity. We still haven't really defined what is masculinity. As you notice, we've never put femininity on the table yet. It's never been up for discussion. And even in most discussions, you rarely see a woman put in a position where she has to defend her femininity. But in these conversations, even in the Steve Harvey book, it's always the man's masculinity is questioned and redefined and put on the chopping block according to the emotions and the temperament and the patience of the woman. So it always goes back to there is a lack of accountability for the woman, but the man, it's on him. It's all, and that is one of the biggest issues in society. Period. A woman is not held too much accountable for her actions, her emotions, or her thoughts, which is creating this single divide that we have. So the people, the women, and the men who are have a greater sense of who they are, their emotions, how to conduct themselves, how to support someone, how to be patient, how to be loving and supportive. Those are the people, regardless of what color, what background, financial background, what education. Those are the people who are going to build lasting relationships.
Fantastic, man. We got catch up on the comments, guys. Again, guys, you are tuning in to the He Say, She Say show. Bringing this back, conversation talking about black love, money, and relationships. We got a comment from Instagram. She say, so you will never stay for the worst part, just the better. I definitely don't feel the way that she does. Our comments today, we're talking about, do men want women who think like men, and do women want men who are emotional like women? That's the nature of our topic here today. Catch up on these comments from our Facebook plan. Let's see here. Oh, so she say, when women have been on our own and now we have a man in our lives, we have to shift from feeling we are independent to now we're doing this together. Part of the issue I found is that we go into relationships with the same mindset as we did being independent. She say, because people want instant gratification, situational. Is this person trying? You can't fix people. He say, man, so respect is predicated on income. He said, hence my comment on pandering to women. Oh my goodness, this is getting good, guys. So, wow, what a conversation we're having here is we're talking again, guys. Do men want women who think like men? Do women want men who are emotional like women? Now, of course, we're having a general conversation. We know that every individual is an individual, but generally speaking, there are stereotypes that fit. The majority of society as it relates to how men and women operate, think, feel and do what they do. So, Mr. Cyril, coming back to you, anything you want to add to any response to anything? Yeah, we got it. You got a very interesting take on this, man. We got another spot. We're gonna have to bring another so we can make sure we got.
She says,
we don't want to be dominating. We want to make it fair.
Say it again.
I said, we want to make sure it's fair. I want to make sure I have another sister next time. Make sure it's fair. Got two brothers on one side.
Well, I feel, she says, the time frame is misunderstood. That you do have to have patience, and it's not just when the bad stuff starts happening, you out. I did say years. If anybody heard that, so I don't. What is your time frame on when you say this is just not working? We're growing apart, or one is not pulling their weight, and I keep reiterating, it's not about the income or the finances. It's the overall. So what are we talking about? The time frame is acceptable, saying that this is not working for us and we're moving backwards instead of forward.
He says, I have a question for Sincere. So if a man has his stuff together financially in every way, he just doesn't have a woman, how would he come into your home, or how would you come into his home and allow him to take the steering wheel? How would you do that?
If he had all his finances and stuff in order, how would he come in my home?
No, he even has his own home. How do you allow him to now take the steering wheel and say, you can be the woman now. You don't have to be what you've been as a single woman. Can you just be my woman? Can you do that? How do you go about doing that? He doesn't need your finances.
The finances is off the table. So it's just loving and nurturing and building each other and creating, manifesting everything else.
No, what I'm saying is it's not about you. You keep saying the finance is not on the table. I'm not talking about there being a financial problem. I'm saying in all relationships, especially in marriage, there's a order. There's a financial order. And so anytime, it's not about who makes more or whatever. How do you come together and now put yours with his without there being because there's going to be it's always a power struggle. That's the nature of man and woman together. So does he say if he wanted to marry you and you got the bigger home, so how does he show you that it's his home now because he's the man? Does he have to buy all the furniture? Does he have to give you all of his paycheck? Does he have to buy you a car? Does he have to put all your kids in order? How does he establish? Because that's what men do. We take over.
Yes, correct. He comes in. If I have the house already, then he's coming in. But if I welcome him in, then it's no longer my house. It's our home, and we're doing everything together. It's not just me. We become one.
He says, I've heard this before. I've heard this a couple of times in my 40 plus years. I've heard that before. I've heard, and Mr. Jefferson knows me well. Yeah, I've heard this a few times before. It's yours. Come in and be the man. You're all I need is you to bring your resources and your brown face, and we can do this. We've all heard this before as men, and it never works out. We're always reminded it's your home.
So he say so had a response there.
The man will do that as well. The man will do that as well.
So we got a comment. She said, "Man, yes, it's our home until you get mad."
Correct.
Well, that's the same for a man. Actually, because I was in a relationship when I moved into with a man, and he said, "This is my house. You can get out, you can leave." So it goes both ways. I never told a man he had to get out. But I have, as a female, been told by a man to get out.
This is interesting, man. Let me stop right there, man. She said I never told a man he had to get out. She must have been in a position where her personality just pushed him out.
As I said before,
he just made him feel emasculated, and he just said, "Okay, well, she ain't telling me I gotta go. Well, I damn sure don't feel like being here no more." Hey, she say, make both homes that are own rentals and buy something together. That fixes that. Oh, good idea there. Thanks so much for that, Miss Monica. They said because some men have feminine attributes. I believe it speaks about that in the Bible, being a spirit, even if they have not been in a homosexual act. Plus, we know if our man is acting like us, add the question of that man stepping up and being a man. It's about trust and respect. So, guys, and we're gonna have to continue this. This conversation, man. As we're talking to man, he say, she say. So, do men want women who think like men, and do women want men who are emotional like women? But I do want to make sure that we give some time for our feature here tonight, which actually is a book written by a brother called Choose Wisely. And it's a book about the Black man's guide to a healthy relationship. Black man's guide to a healthy relationship. And so what I wanted to do tonight, let me see if I can do this right. What I wanted to do tonight was kind of just read a little bit about it and then get you guys maybe the first chapter. And then it's a real easy read. And then get you guys' thoughts on what you hear. The Black man's guide to a healthy relationship. Everybody's watching the comments below. Go ahead and put in the comments below, choose wisely. I just want to make sure that you guys still here. Go ahead and put in the comments below, choose wisely. So the Black man's guide to a healthy relationship. This is written by Mr. Derrick Alford. And I'll read the first chapter, and I want you guys. I'll probably go through it every week, but I figured, this would be. It's an easy read. It's only one page. This first chapter, so we'll read this, and I want to get you guys' take. He say, she say, take on what you hear from our brother who wrote this book called Choose Wisely. So the first chapter it says, "Why do you need to choose the right partner?" Now this could be a he say, she say, so all by itself, choosing the right mate. But why do you need to choose the right partner? He goes on to write and says this: some of you reading this book may know why it's very important to choose the right partner, but it's also very likely a good amount of you may not know why it's important, and that is okay. I'm going to break it all down for you. Choosing partners is one of the most important decisions you can and will make. This is the person that you're going to spend a good amount of time around. They will influence you to do amazing things or average things. They will either build you up or tear you down. They can push you towards your goals or further behind them. With all that's being said, you definitely want the right partner by your side so you can get that extra boost of confidence, motivation, and good positive energy. Why else choose wisely? Well, because your future depends on it. Who you connect with will either help you progress in life or regress in life. Have you ever noticed the majority of people in the world that are successful have a partner? If you have not, that's okay. Take a second and Google a successful Black businessman. And I am pretty sure you will see that many of them are married. I'm also willing to bet you know some people or have some relatives in your family that are doing well in life and they have a partner or are married. I hope you are connecting the dots. Men that are in positive and healthy relationships with a partner tend to experience more success in their lives and business ventures. The partner you pick also helps determine the type of life you will live, the activities you will engage in, good or bad, even your level of motivation to get things done in your life. Your partner is very important. It's the person you spend a good amount of time with, which means you will probably be influenced by them and what they do. To clarify, this information applies not only to your girlfriend or partner, but it also applies to your friends and associates as well as even family members. Whoever you keep around plays a role in your life because energy is real. Everybody putting down, so energy is real. It's either created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred. And that is what we as human beings do, transfer our energy, whether it's good or bad. Have you ever tried to complete a difficult task on your own that you know required two people to get it done? But you went ahead and struggled your way through the task only to finish it correctly or cause more damage to yourself. Well, that is an example of how life can be when trying to achieve certain goals if you don't have the right partner, because we all need help in all aspects in life. Having two people working together focused on achieving the same goal is definitely a recipe for success. The other benefit of having two people working toward the same task is that when one gets tired, the other person can continue working. That way, the project does not come to a complete stop. Partnership is a beautiful thing that comes with many benefits. If you take the right steps to find the right partner for yourself, in the next few chapters, you'll find what those steps are. Brother Chirac, man, we'll get your take on. We've got a brother, Derrick Alford, who's written this nice, small, wonderful book called Choose Why the Black Man Guide to Healthy Relationships. That was chapter 1. What are your thoughts on what you heard so far?
I agree. I agree with a lot of what he said. I have no problems with any of that you just read. That sums it up. It is the selection is or the wrong selection is where most of us at one point in our lives we've all gone wrong there. I think after a certain age, many of us we want some of the same things, but we just blindly let different things choose our partners for us at different stages in our lives, appearance, lust, physical attraction. We have different stages in our lives where we focus on these things, and we don't look at emotional compatibility, spiritual compatibility, mental compatibility to a person that works with our temperament. And finally, in all relationships, I notice the relationships that really work are the ones where both partners are have one agenda and one goal to do things together. Anytime you have a person who likes to sit in the home all the time, or you have a person who's very outgoing, a person who's always pursuing education versus a person that's content to just 9 to 5 or anything, you're always going to have basically you're working against one another. When you could have a person that is just as driven as you, that is as sound emotionally and fundamentally, they're so similar to you that you don't have all those issues when you have like two people who are always contradicting and fighting one another because of their makeup. And notice I've never said one of the biggest things that women focus on is love, and men are not, in terms of partners, we're not focused on love. You rarely will hear a man say in his compatibility when looking for a woman, we seldom bring up love. But after all is said and done, the finances, the other things that we talked about, for some reason, usually women gauge us according to all those things. They'll still say, I feel loved. I don't feel loved. Even if he's providing, even if he's being faithful, even if he's not beating them up, it always comes down to how do they view themselves being loved.
Man, how does one feel? They're most emotional. Sister Sincere, man, she's saying your take on what you heard. Had some energy is real, some things that Brother Alford put into this first chapter of the book. Choose wisely, the Black Man's Guide to Healthy Relationships. Would you say that chapter 1 is good for the Black man that you're raising? I think you got a son.
She says, yes, I agree with everything that he said. That is my take on it. And when I mentioned my patient level, like you said, the energy was when I was very young. Um, so that's the misunderstanding. Because those were in my younger days that I had that like you said, the temperament, the patient level, looking for the wrong things. It was more physical in my younger days. Now it's more physical, spiritual, and how are we compatible to build? And then I believe that the love builds from that because you start from nothing and you can't just start. I love him. You got to start. How can we make this grow? Are we compatible to grow with that? So yes, I agree with all of it.
All right, man. We're gonna take any more comments from our guests, man, that are here. Again, for those that are in the comments that are watching, we just want to say we appreciate you guys coming in and sharing and liking and all that stuff. If you haven't already, I just want to make sure that you're aware that all of our broadcasts will be going to ERGJ TV. That is a new page on Facebook. That's where all of our broadcasts, from the He Say, She Say show to all the other things that I do. That's going to be pretty much my our outlet for our video content that we create. So make sure that you go over to Facebook and check that out as well. Want to catch up on your comments, guys? See if we missed anything. Brother Jerry, it was I figured it was one page, man, but it was like half of page 4 and half of page 6 or something like that. About 2 pages, but it was very good content in a short amount of time. She say we need to put our feelings and emotions aside and focus on what is important and be committed to the relationship. That's why other countries have arranged marriages. This brother's on point. Love will come. She says, as people, men and women, we have to define what it is you want before you search for a mate. As a people, you have to define what it is that you want before you search for a mate. And I would add to that, he said that not even just searching for a mate, before you receive a mate. So you know if it looks like what you want it to look like as well. So you're not always, I don't think you're always searching. But somebody may stumble upon you and catch your interest, and then you're like, okay, well, this kind of fits in this little gray area, this little request that I had, what I prayed for. It seemed to be aligning up with that, man. But again, this is He Say, She Say. So everybody has a voice. Why not let your voice be heard? Again, man, we're going to be bringing more episodes to talk about some things here. If you're a person that's joined us here tonight, you're saying, man, I want to be on the next episode. I've got some things to share. I got something I like to say, and I think I like this platform. We'll make sure you inbox us and let us know that you're interested in joining us. Also, if you have a topic that you'd like to have discussed, maybe you're going through something, you know somebody's going through something, you're like, man, I don't want to talk about it by myself, but they can talk about it. Well, make sure you inbox us and let us know of a topic that you find interesting, because I got quite a few crazy stuff going on up in my head about some stuff we need to talk about in our community, and I don't have a problem talking about it at all. Sister Sincere, before we get up out of here, man, you got any last words for the peeps? How did you enjoy the show, the conversation? What's your take on tonight's show, the He Say, She Say show?
I love He Say, She Say. I love He Say, She Say. That was amazing. It was really great today. I believe the hour went by so fast. Great comments. I love the aspect that people are taking on me. Yes. More of it. More of it. Let's do this.
Absolutely, man. Brother, straight out of Chirac, man. What's your thoughts on tonight's show, and what do you think about our topic here tonight on the He Say, She Say show?
Confirmation of everything I know up here.
What the fuck was that? what is that? Okay, we're gonna take that for whatever it is that you're talking about. I don't even get it. He say, all right, I'm gonna leave that where it is. Hey, for those that are watching us, man, leave your thoughts and comments. Thoughts in the comments below. Again, man, if you can't stand the heat, get your ass out the kitchen. So, yeah, I just want you guys to know this is an adult conversation. This isn't for everybody. And so don't expect for it to be something that if you can't handle it, just don't tune in. Because, we never know where we're going to go, what we're going to talk about. But if it's something that y'all want to talk about, well, why not talk about it? You'll get honest take, honest opinion from those. And the cool thing about it, that you get a viewpoint from the man and the woman. Here's what I found. Too often we have men that are not talking, and we got women that are only talking to women. And that's a big problem. So how about we have some intergender conversations about some of the things that you talk about in your private spaces to your women, and that men think in their private spaces in their head. Again, men don't really talk a whole lot. And women talk a whole lot to each other. So how about we have some intergender conversation, maybe get some insight that'll help each and every one of us become more balanced. Yeah, we're going to use that word, more balanced in our approach to one another in these relationships and these partners and in our jobs and any type of relationship that we might have. Again, he say, she say, so man, I'll say thanks so much for tuning in to tonight. And once you guys remember this, man, everybody's got a voice. Why not let your voice be heard? You know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
Black men date black women in America. It's a challenge for us.
It's not a challenge.
Oh, that's the wrong one. I got to do. There we
You've
go.
been watching the He Say, She Say show. We thank you for tuning in. Until next time, keep that conversation going. He say, she say.